Hey, what is up? What is up, everybody? Hope you guys are doing amazing out there on this fine Saturday afternoon. I'm back with another live stream video. This is Cam Jennings, aka Cam Fats, coming at you on behalf of EpicConversions.com. I hope you guys are doing well. Hope this video finds you well. I want to talk to you guys today about how to get people to actually care about what you have to say. Because it's one thing that I've found in marketing is that the more people who care about what I have to say, like the more money I can make. And that's it, the bottom line. The more people who care what you have to say, and the more people who care about your business and your brand, the more people who actually give credence to anything you have to say, the more money you're going to make. So how do we get more people to care what we have to say? I want to introduce you to a little effect that I discovered recently that I've been using to pretty great effect. It's worked out really, really well for me. It's something I've been calling the Mesolimbic Effect, right? And it's been very, very successful for me on YouTube. I know that it doesn't just work on YouTube, though. I know you can use this Mesolimbic Effect anywhere. Anywhere people are that could hear what you have to say. Would you guys like to hear about it? Would you guys like to hear about the Mesolimbic Effect and what I do on YouTube to actually explode my viewing results and to actually get people caring about what I have to do on YouTube? Because I spent a lot of time kind of like bumbling around at the bottom with this new YouTube channel at the beginning of 2018. I even vlogged every single day for like 3 or 4 months trying to figure it out to no great effect. But when I started using this Mesolimbic Effect strategy, it actually really, really helped. And I started getting a lot more growth on that channel, and a lot more people started caring about what I had to say. Pretty cool. And I want to show you guys, I want to explain to you guys how to use the same thing in your marketing right now. But it all comes back to this fancy word, Mesolimbic, right? Because I say that and it sounds cool, but I mean, what does it really mean? What does that even mean? Well, when I say Mesolimbic, I'm talking about the Mesolimbic dopamine pathway, right? In our brains. So we got this pathway in our brains called the Mesolimbic dopamine pathway. And what it does is it rewards us when we do something that we like, right? Like eat a pepperoni pizza or something. It rewards us with a little hit of dopamine, right? It makes us feel good, basically. And that's what it does. That's its purpose. It does a few other things too, but one of its main purposes is to reward us. It's our pleasure reward center of our brain called the Mesolimbic dopamine pathway. We'll come back to that. Put a pin in that. Hold it over here, okay? I was looking at some stats. Did you know that 60% of all the conversations we have as people are about ourselves? 60% of the time we talk about ourselves. Here's what's interesting. When you go over to the internet and social media, that gets boosted up to 80% of the time. 80% of the time we're talking about ourselves. Right? Now that's pretty amazing because we have the world's knowledge on the internet. We could be talking about so many different things. We could be sharing so much knowledge with each other. And yet, 80% of the time, we spend talking about ourselves. Why do we do that? It comes back to the Mesolimbic dopamine pathway. We do it because it feels good. Harvard did a study on this a few years ago where they did a bunch of tests, and I don't want to go into the article because I don't want to bore you, and I want to keep this video a little bit shorter. But they did a study basically, and it was very scientific. They did physiological tests, but basically it proved that when we talk about ourselves, it lights up that same area in our brain that lights up when we eat something we enjoy or when something happens that we enjoy. It basically lights up those Mesolimbic dopamine pathway in our brain. Right? So basically talking about ourselves makes us feel good, right? So that is the premise of the Mesolimbic Effect, okay? So what is the Mesolimbic Effect? How does it work? So here's how I use the Mesolimbic Effect. I wrote a little for you. Okay, so the Mesolimbic effect works like this: using someone else's points and ideas as a starting point for your own points and ideas, thereby bringing another influencer into the conversation, thereby increasing odds of getting your content seen, right? Using someone else's points and ideas as a starting point for your own points and ideas, thereby bringing another influencer into the conversation, thereby increasing odds of getting your content seen. So what I'm saying is, with the Mesolimbic effect, what you're going to do is you're going to go out there, you're going to find another person who does similar things to what you do in your space, another influencer. They don't have to be someone who's way, way, way up here, way, way high above you. You don't need to do that. You can find someone who's on the same level as you, someone who's a little bit above you. You can even find someone who's below you, but they're out there, they're publishing content, they're making moves, they're building an audience, they're building a following just like you. You can go out there and you can find some content that they've put out, and you can ask yourself, this is cool content. Do I have anything to add to this conversation? Do I have anything to add to this conversation? And when the answer is yes, what you want to do is you want to come back over to your Facebook profile, over to your YouTube channel, or wherever you're publishing content, and you want to start that piece of content talking about the other piece of content. You're going to put that person on a pedestal. You're going to shout them out. You're going to make sure that everybody knows that the piece of content that you're making is a continuation of that conversation. Like that was the beginning piece of content, and you are furthering that conversation, right? And then you're going to move on into making your points and your content. You're going to talk about what you want to talk about, but you're using that beginning as a springboard. You're springboarding off of that original piece of content. You're adding to that conversation, right? And then you're going to go ahead and inject your value into the marketplace. After you get done with your piece of content, what you want to do is you want to go back over to that original piece of content, and you want to make sure you let them know, hey man, I really enjoyed this piece of content. I couldn't get it out of my head. I wanted to add to this conversation, so I created my own piece of content on my profile. Or I put my own video about this on my YouTube channel, right? I wanted to add to this conversation. Thanks for the amazing content. It's awesome. Right? Now, when I used the Mesolimbic effect, I didn't put a link to my content. I went to their YouTube channel and I said, hey, this is an awesome video. I couldn't get it out of my head. I had things that I wanted to add to this. I wanted to add to this conversation. I want to add to this conversation. So I made a video about this topic on my YouTube channel, but I shouted you out because the conversation really began here with your content. And when I did that, what happened was I started getting their audience come over to check out my videos. I started getting them come over and check out my videos. And the unforeseen thing that happened was a few times they started making more videos to talk about my video and to shout me out. It was like a synergetic thing. And I asked myself, why did that happen? It happened because of the Mesolimbic dopamine pathway. It happened because of the Mesolimbic effect. It happened because 80% of the time we enjoy conversations that are about us. That's why it happened. So what I'm telling you is, if you want to, if you want to get other people to care about your content, if you want to get people interested in what you have to say more, use what they have to say as a springboard for what you have to say. Start it with their conversation and then take it into your conversation. That's the Mesolimbic effect. I hope it's helped you guys. I hope you found this video helpful. Hope you got some value out of it today. If so, please leave a comment for me. Let me know how you're feeling today. Share it with someone you think they might help. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace, everybody. Have a great one out there.